So today I'm going to answer the question once and for all, can you really clean a vinyl record with glue? Hi again, I'm Not John from Papa Bear Studio in Duryea, Pennsylvania. I am a vinyl record collector. As a vinyl collector, one of the things that's very important to me is cleaning my records. I'm sure you've heard 1,000 different ways to clean vinyl records. I can show you for sure the single best way to do this is using wood glue. No doubt, hands down, and I'll prove it right here. First of all, let me put up a couple pictures for you. This is a before, and this is an after. What you're looking at is a microscopic view of the grooves of a 45 that I cleaned with wood glue, both before and after. As you can see, there's dust particles that were there before, gone afterwards. Now, why doesn't this damage the record? Simple. Glue and vinyl are made of the same thing, and they're not going to stick to one another. So although you're not going to be able to fix the scratches and the gouges, you're going to be able to pull out every last little bit of dirt, dust, and grime that's been in that record for as many years as it's been around. The result is phenomenal. It's as quiet as it's ever going to be, and it even brings back some of the shine. I don't know if you can tell, this is an Elvis 45. On the backside is the Wonder View, and I did this record this side. What I'm going to do today is do the other side. I'm going to give you a clip of it being played before, then I'm going to show you the process, and then I'm going to show you a clip of it being played after. I chose this record for a number of reasons. First of all, side A turned out beautiful after being glued, so I can only assume that side B is going to do the same thing. Secondly, it's got a mark 1820 on it right now that somebody wrote on there. Not that that's a good thing, but it shows you that it's the same record being played twice, before and after. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is play the record. Of course, I can only play about 10 seconds before the copyright police start woo 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 woo. But you get the idea. You drop the needle on, you hear all that static. Now let's go through the gluing process, shall we? First of all, you might wonder, what kind of glue do I use? Are all glues equal? Not necessarily. I've tried this with white Elmer's glue, and it works, but there's some disadvantages. The best type of glue to use is definitely wood glue, and one of the best brands, as you might have seen on other clips of this nature, is Titebond 2. Now what I do is I buy it by the gallon. This one had a label on it, just fell off, but it is Titebond 2. And then what I do is I put a little bit I only put a little bit in because the cap will glue itself together and then you have to throw the rest away, and I want to throw away as little as possible. How do you get it on the record? Well, 45s are the easiest. It's a pretty simple process. First of all, you want to have a paper towel handy because it's going to be a little bit messy. So you take your wood glue and you gently just get a little stream going. And you put a little bead around the record, not to hit the label. That's the important part. And that's why I use the method I'm going to show you right now, because it gives me the most control over where I'm putting the glue. And that is your finger. Simply take the glue and massage it in to where it's evenly dispersed among the grooves. This takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it. What you don't want to have are gaps in the glue, because what the ultimate result, or the end result that you want, is to get it to peel when it dries in one big piece. If you don't get it to do that, and you leave pieces of glue behind, it's not the end of the world. There's a few different ways of getting that off, and I'll discuss that in just a moment. But what you want to do is make sure that you get right to the edge and you cover all of the vinyl surface. Now when you get to the middle, that's in what they call the dead wax, which is where the needle trails off the vinyl and there's no music or no signal being played there. When you get to the dead wax, try to give yourself as smooth an edge as you can, because that's where you're most likely going to get pieces left behind. And not that it affects the play, but it's just ugly to have it sitting in there. And if you do leave some in there and the needle hits it, you're going to hear a pop. I don't know if it's going to damage the needle. I'm guessing that wood glue doesn't stand a chance against diamonds. but you never know. The idea is to get it all off, obviously. I'll take this opportunity right now to let you know that if you don't get it all off, there's two methods that you can get it off with, depending on where it is and how much. If it's in the dead wax, a little bit of isopropyl alcohol on a Q-tip will dissolve the remaining glue that's stuck on the record. The only downside of that is it's also going to spread it around. So if you don't get it all, then what's going to happen is you're going to have a trace of glue on the record, and you don't want that. The other method is to just to re-glue it again, which is a pain in the. So the best trick of it is to make sure that you get a nice even edge so it all comes off in one shot, and you don't have to worry about getting anything off. If you use too much glue, it's going to take forever to dry, and that's the biggest complaint people have about this. If you use too little, you're not going to get it to peel off in one shot. So you really don't need much to get it to peel. You don't want to see a lot of black underneath, obviously. These white spots right here, there's a real thick layer here. I'll spread that out, and I'll bring it to the spots where there's not a lot of glue. And now I've got it pretty even. In the wintertime, when the air is nice and dry, it really doesn't take that long for these things to dry. So there you have it. Now you may ask yourself, is this too much work to go through just to clean a record? Couldn't I just take some fluid? Yeah, you can. But when you got a record that's 50, 60 years old sometimes, that's full of dust and grime and grit, there's no better way to make sure you get it all in one shot, and then you can just maintain it with your more traditional methods of wet cleaning or dry cleaning. So I'm just going to let this dry, and I'll be back when it's dry to show you how it peels. So welcome back. It's been about an hour and a half or so, and the glue has dried very nicely, and now we're going to peel it. This belongs on one of those videos of surprisingly satisfying things, or strangely satisfying things, because although you have to get the edge started with the fingernail a little bit, once you get this thing going, listen to this. And it peels right off, like I said, in one shot. And there you have it. If you can tell, it's got that nice glossy sheen to it, just like it used to when it was brand new. There's a few pieces here that are stuck on the edge. That's no big deal. You just scratch those right off, and they come off without a problem. Let's go play this thing. Hey, I'm back without the crazy delay on my voice. So as you can see, the record sounds a ton better. No hisses, crackles, snap, pop, serial noises, etc., etc. So you can feel comfortable to use wood glue to clean your records. Now, of course, you don't want to start with your 1964 VJ Beatles promo. Get started with something that doesn't mean anything to you until you get the system down, and then you'll be gluing like a champ and all your records will sound amazing. And again, just keep up regular maintenance with your more traditional ways of cleaning. I'm not going to put a number on it, but if I get a significant number of likes on this, I'll do another video that shows you how to do an LP, which is the same concept but a little bit different of a technique in applying the glue. Until then, we'll see you next time from Papa Bear Studios. Bye.